let's talk about your Cowboys.
Okay.
Dak played an outstanding football game.
He did.
Except for taking that sack at the end. But
hey, Rich, you know what? If they would have listened to me and got themselves an offensive lineman at the trade deadline, then maybe he wouldn't have taken the sack. I'm just saying. Because I don't think he wanted to take the sack. The sack happened. What was he supposed to do?
The sack took him.
But he's finding CeeDee Lamb and multiple tight ends. I thought the Fox broadcast nailed it by showing Schoonmaker's knee down and the ball on the wrong side of the line of scrimmage. That was one of the moments. Obviously, Dak and another short yardage situation coming up just shy was another one of those issues. And the clock management thing just keeps on creeping up, man. And the end of the games, like that moment where he's stepping out of bounds, if he had not just stepped out of bounds, it would have been the 2 points instead of a 5-point deficit. It would have been a 3-point deficit. So they're not trying to score a touchdown at the end and no clock management issues. All they got to do is kick a field goal. But I found it interesting. Greg Olson, who's terrific, was talking about going fast with 4 minutes to go, because if you don't score here, you can kick the 3 and use your timeouts to get one more possession. But if you're just putting all your eggs in this basket here, you should definitely mind all your P's and Q's. And they just, they had it on the 11-yard line and then a sack. And then do you throw it in the end zone, when even though there's 7 Eagles lined up there? I know this is a total second guess here. You throw it in the end zone and maybe you get a jump ball from CeeDee Lamb and let's go, or it's a penalty. I don't know. I just didn't like any of that stuff, but that's just the circumstances of it. The schedule, as we discussed before I hopped a plane here, Michael Irvin really hit this on game day morning 2 Sundays ago, is that, the Cowboys have a soft part of the schedule while the Eagles are on a bye, and then take on the Chiefs and then take on the 49ers before seeing the Cowboys again. Dallas can really make up some ground here. So I'm not concerned about that. I'm just concerned about their team, moving forward and what's missing. Like, what is missing from Dallas? Because we discussed it over and over again that there's just one piece missing.
I tell you what's missing, Rich, if I could.
I'm wondering if it's the same thing that I'm thinking.
The fact that we saw a picture of Lombardi Lenny with those ham hock thighs that he has and those short shorts that he got signed.
Yeah.
A guy like that would have been kind of helpful in situations, because we're not getting anything out of the running back position. It's kind of frustrating. Lenny was there. He was there to be had.
Yeah, I know.
We didn't take the chance.
He was there to be had. And we don't know what he's going to look like in Buffalo just yet, despite seeing as you pointed out, the ham hock thighs. And that would have been a smart move there. What I was thinking, that you go home run, you tell the Titans, I don't care. What do you want for Derrick Henry? And you put him with the star on the side of his helmet. And yesterday's game would have had a totally different tenor.
Absolutely.
But he would have had a bigger audience too. But that may have been pie in the sky. My concern is it's the same thing there. The big game, Tony Pollard, is not there anymore. I don't know if he's still dealing with his knee injury or it's the new way of calling plays there. But I mean, you look at him this year. He's got 2 touchdowns. Both of them came on opening night against the Giants. He's gotten 0 since. None in the air, none on the ground since week number 1. And then the big plays. His longest run of the year is 31 yards in the loss to Arizona. His largest reception was an 80-yarder in the win against the Chargers. That's the old school big-time game breaker. Last year, I mean, before he blew out his knee, my goodness, he was just big plays all over the place. He had 2 runs of 50 yards or more. He had a 46-yarder in a win against the Giants. He had a 55. He had a long of 46 yards. He had on the ground, in the air last year, Tony Pollard. In week number 2 against Cincinnati, he had a 68-yarder against Minnesota in that game where they just absolutely curb stomped Minnesota 40-3. They're missing the big play. And from somebody other, if you will, than CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb is turning into an A-plus number one receiver. Mm-hmm. But that's my concern here is the run game. They're not getting very much from it. I mean, Rico Dowdle is not scaring anybody, and nor is Pollard anymore. And, maybe Lombardi Lenny would have been the difference maker. I would just love to know if you just put everyone on sodium pentothal. Did the Cowboys call for Derrick Henry or what? I mean, that would have been just, again, I mean, you just need something that puts a card on the table and looks at Philadelphia and goes, brotherly shove this.
Yeah, you got to worry
here
about
comes
this guy.
number 22. You know what I mean? Like they had that with Zeke in his years of being Zeke, where he would just bowl you over. The Cowboys missed that juice. It doesn't appear that Pollard has it right now, and that's my concern. Hopefully he can find it over the last 9 games.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.